This episode of The Central is presented by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Order online at papajohns.com and use code MCJNN for a great deal. Hey Jags, I'm Wes Fowler.
And I'm Camille Coleman, and this is JNN's The Central. Mark your calendars for the performance of Back to the 80s, May 13th through 15th, presented by Madison Central's own theater department. Tickets are $8 for balcony seating and $10 for ground seating. The show will start at 6:30 p.m. on the 13th and the 14th, and showtimes for the 15th are 2 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. You don't want to miss it.
Last Tuesday, Mississippi held primaries for municipal offices which include mayor, city council, and board of aldermen. In the Jackson mayoral election, incumbent Chokwe Lumumba took the Democratic nod, while Jason Wells was nominated as the Republican candidate. Primary runoffs will take place on April 27th, and the general elections will be held on June 8th.
Max Preps released their high school baseball rankings for the week, putting our Jaguars at number 1 in the country as they continue their undefeated season, creeping up on 20-0. Tomorrow, they'll be finishing up a series against Warren Central, and will be starting a new series next week against Clinton. Tonight, our softball girls take on North Pike after Germantown and Warren Central earlier this week. And track and golf continue to play into the latter half of their seasons as tennis moves into postseason, looking for back-to-back state championships for their men's and women's teams. Now to Lily Ross with the weather.
Thanks, Jackson. We've had our fair share of humidity and rain these past few days, and it doesn't seem like it will be ending until Sunday. Our high today is 85 and our low is 65, with some showers scattered throughout the day. Saturday is looking like the same story, with our temperatures dropping only slightly. Sunday will be our day of sunshine, with the rain gone and our high at 77. We are looking at a slight chance for some more rain starting off on Monday that might continue on into our school week. That's your weather forecast. Now, back to Camille.
Thanks, Lily. Spring is here in the Magnolia State, and while the temperatures rise and the flowers bloom, you may see some creatures that are very important to our environment. JNN correspondent Gini Burton reports on the infamous bee and what they do for the world we live in.
You know bees, but do you understand the gravity they hold in our environment and what would happen if we weren't conscious about their involvement in the food chain?
Bees are so vital to our food products. And a lot of things, apples, pears, a lot of fruits are pollinated by bees. And if there's no pollination going on, there's no fruit being made.
You can't have flowers without bees. If you didn't have the bees, you wouldn't have the colors of the flowers, you wouldn't have the flowers, you gotta have bees to have flowers. We need to protect our bees. The crop dusting, the sprays that we use on some of our food, we've got to come up with other ways to do the job without hurting our honeybees.
Our use of neonicotinoids in pesticides for the plants, it's killing the bees.
We try to go more natural here. We do use some sprays, but we try to go more natural. I would rather have a pair of scissors than to use a chemical.
Pollinator gardens are wonderful things to have. I have one in my yard. It's a tremendous way to help restore and provide nectar sources for these creatures. The more that we can do to help them along, the better.
It's so much fun to do. It's pretty, and you help the bees, you help them multiply, make their honey. They have to be able to get the pollen to make their honey. Everybody should have a bee garden. Every little bit helps. So you've gotta contribute.
Our world depends on bees, so let's do our best to protect them. This has been Gini Burton with JNN.
Thanks, Ginny. If you live in the city of Madison, you may have noticed some new additions to what once were empty fields. With all of the construction taking place right outside our door, JNN's Isabella Ragazzi sat down with Madison residents to look back on our growing city.
Madison, the city, has not always been what we see before us today. When it was first founded, it was a tiny railroad town that captivated many people's fantasies for the future. Today, 165 years after the founding of Madison, the city is still growing at a tremendous rate.
When we first moved up here, there were no grocery stores. There were no parks. There were no fast food areas. It was mostly farmland, cotton farms, and very few little places to shop.
Through this growth, the city has always kept a certain charm about it. Buildings have a designer touch, houses must reach certain building requirements, and only hand-picked restaurants can be built, all in the spirit of growth and beauty. To accommodate the influx, more restaurants are being constructed. Recent additions include Chicken Salad Chick, Half Shell Oyster House, and Sal and Mookie's. Mary Hawkins Butler, the mayor of Madison for over 40 years, is to thank for the continued growth of Madison. Mayor Mary says, Madison was a small, primarily farming community when I was elected as mayor in 1980. There were only about 2,200 people living here, and pretty much everyone knew each other. Other accommodations are taking the form of road improvements and expansions on frequently traveled streets, such as Hoy Road.
The renovations are much needed. With as many people as we are seeing move into the area, we needed to open up the area. Yes, it's been a little difficult, but we have to just go through difficult times to make it better. Slowly but surely, we're becoming a bigger community. It's homey, it's comfortable, it's a nice place to be. And I like it. I'm happy with it.
So next time you're taking a drive in Madison, take a moment to appreciate the beautiful city around you. This has been Isabella Ragazzi with JNN.
Thanks, Isabella. As we start on our last term of the school year, students around the state are eager to start their summer break. To take a moment away from the books, JNN correspondent Maatallah highlights the Fat Cat Art Cafe.
Nowadays, many students have felt stress and really just want to decompress from school. However, many don't know what to do. Well, if you're one of these students, do I have the place for you? Check out this place called the Fat Cat Art Cafe. It's an establishment for teens of all ages to come paint pottery, relax, and have fun with some cats.
It's pretty fun. You get to enjoy people coming to relax, spend some family time, and you get to hang out and pet cats.
It's a great place to bring your friends and try out art. Even if you're a beginner or like a pro, you can do pretty much anything and have a good time.
At Fat Cat, you have a few choices of what you can do. You can paint canvas, you can throw pottery on the wheel, you can also hand sculpt or build clay items at your table, but the most popular thing is what you see behind me, which is all the ceramics ready to paint. There's 3 cats living at Fat Cat. We have Tigger, the little marmalade kitty. We have Coco, the tortoiseshell calico. And we have Eileen, a little gray tabby who was here earlier visiting us. The kitty cats live here. This is Fat Cat's home. Kitties can be petted, scratched, and we give out little combs so people can brush them if they want. All that we ask is nobody picks up the cats.
You just go in, and then along the walls there's different ceramics, and you get to pick which kind that you want. It has the price tag on the bottom, and then you just sit down and you order like the paints that you're going to paint with, and you paint your ceramics, you leave it there, and then they fire and glaze it, and then you come to pick it up like a week later.
People absolutely shed stress when they get to sit down, slow their life down, paint a little bit, create a little bit, and it doesn't hurt when a cat comes and lays on the table and demands to be petted.
After learning about this lovely establishment, head over and check it out with some friends. Relax, take some time away from school, and just enjoy the moment. This has been Maatallah with JNN.
Well, that's all for this time, Jags. Don't forget to follow us at Jaguar News Network on Facebook and Instagram, and Jaguar News Net on Twitter for weekly updates on current events. I'm Wes Fowler.
And I'm Camille Coleman, and this has been
JNN's The Central.